Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Pandas Series, Pandas DataFrames. So there are only two subjects I'm going to be talking about, but they are super important. I have an image on this screen. It's an image of the house, and think of the house as your Python environment. There are different things that you want to do inside that environment. In a house analogy, you want to use the kitchen to cook, you want to use the bedroom to rest, and so forth. That's the same in Python. You want to do some plotting using the matplotlib. If you want to do some data wrangling, you use pandas. I have a tutorial, a very short tutorial on that as well. But I want to break pandas down into the two fundamental data formats in pandas. So series for one-dimensional data and data frames for two-dimensional data. Just remember that, and that will be big. Series, one-dimensional data, data frame, two-dimensional data. Before I jump into coding, remember that all the code and all the data is in my GitHub repository. The link is in the description down below, and feel free to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me grow my audience. Let's do some coding. Let's make a new Jupyter notebook, give it a proper name, Pandas Series DataFrames. I highly encourage you to do that. Give your Jupyter notebooks proper names so that you know what you're doing. So before we can use any module in Python, we need to import it. So import pandas as PD. That's the alias standard name that we use for pandas, PD. I want to start with a very simple list of 3 people's salary per year. So what I will do, I'll say salaries equals a list of, I know someone who earns 25,000 per year, somebody else earns $67,000 per year, and another person earns $120,000 per year. So let's look at the type of salaries and make sure we have made a list. Yep, the type is a list. Now, if I were to convert this into a Pandas series, because I can, it's a one-dimensional data. There are 3 numbers and it's one-dimensional. So what I will need to do, I can call it salaries underscore series, because now I'm making a series out of it. I'm going to call the pandas library, PD, calls it, and says, give me the series function with a capital S. Remember that, very important. Okay, what am I feeding? What am I converting into a pandas series? I want to import the list that I had. The list was called salaries. So import salaries into the series, and let's do a print of salaries series. You'll see that 25,000 sits at index 0, 67,000 sits at index 1, and 120,000 sits at index 2. We know that in Python we start counting from 0. I don't need to remind you on that. However, imagine I didn't want to get 0, 1, 2. I wanted to actually tag them by their names. What I could do, I could say the salaries are for these indexes, for Adam, Jessica, and for Taylor. If I do that, I'm going to run it again. You will see that now, instead of having 0, 1, 2, I have Adam, Jessica, and Taylor. So now this is how I can make my first pandas series. What if I were to make a pandas series from a dictionary? If you haven't seen my tutorial on dictionaries, the link is up the top right there. Let's make a my dict, and you know that for dictionaries we use curly brackets. Let's make the first key as name. The name is only Adam. We are only looking at Adam's data, and we know that Adam's age is 33. So if I check the type of my dict, I might have to print it. No, I don't have to. So it's a dictionary. Now I want to convert a dictionary into a series. Up here, I converted a list into a series. Now I want to convert a dictionary into a series. So we know how to do it. We say my dict into series, because I want to make sure what I'm doing. I'll call pandas.series with a capital S, feed my dict, and let's print my dict underscore series. You will see that now, by default, it has been tagged by the key names. So index 1 is name. Index 2 is age. Who are we talking about? Adam, and he's 33 years old. So easy. Now you might ask, what if we had more than one person? What if we don't, what if we didn't only have Adam? What if we had Adam, Jessica, and somebody else? So let's convert this into a list, because in a dictionary, we can have a list. So we have Adam, we have Jessica, and we have Taylor. Let's close the square bracket. And for their ages as well, let's make a list. We know that Adam is 33, Jessica is 45, and for example, Taylor is 32. Let's close the bracket. Let's look at that. And you can see that this looks like an issue. For name tag, there is Adam, Jessica, Taylor. And for age, there is 33, 45, 32, all in one place. Because if I were to capture Adam's data, now I can say my dict series number 0. It will give me Adam, Jessica, and Taylor all together. And that's not what I want. I just wanted Adam's name. So this doesn't really look like the best use case of this. This is when you can use data frames. Data frames, as I told you, is really good for two-dimensional data. So if I would say my dict underscore data frame instead of series, I will say pd.data frame, data with capital D, frame with capital F, of my dict. And you remember that my dict is this one. So if I run this, and if I look at my dict data frame, you can see that it looks really nice. It looks like a table. There is a name column, Adam, Jessica, and Taylor, and there is an age column, 33, 45, and 32. What if I wanted to add a new person to this? It's pretty easy. So let's say the new person is of name, for example, John, and their age is 67. So I now have a new person with the following data. Name is Dunn, age is 67. And if I convert this into a series, so new person series is pd dot series with capital S of new person. So I make a series out of it first. And if I show you what it looks like, it's a series of new person. Name is Dunn and age 67. And I can easily append it to my data frame. So I can append it from the bottom to the data frame. And my data frame is called my dict data frame. So let's copy that. My dict data frame dot append. And the information I want to add is new person series. And there is one catch here. If you do not tell Python to ignore index, you will run into an error. Look at this. If I do this, I will get an error. All I need to do is to say ignore index equals true. Now you see that I have added Dunn under the name and their age is 67. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This was a really quick and short one. All the data and the code is in my GitHub, the link in the description below. I would appreciate if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. That would really help me grow my audience. Thank you.